Hello, everybody. Welcome to Misunderstood. It has been such a long time since I sat here and shared some thoughts with you guys. So, in case anybody is new here, welcome to Misunderstood. The sole reason for this platform is to give understanding, as the name suggests, to different seasons, different lessons, different experiences that you're going through in life. Not because I have all the answers, but because I like to learn things either from my experiences, from people's experiences, from lessons from people, from books, from conversations, and some of those things trigger me to think, who else needs to know what I've just learned? And so that's why I host this platform. So my name is Nyawira Kashuki. Welcome to Misunderstood. Now, for the next few episodes, I'm going to be talking about a few things that people have shared with me in person. Now, one of the things about the Misunderstood community is that they don't hesitate to tell you that, Nyawira, please tell us about this. And so some of these conversations have been inspired by a few people I met for a while now that I've met at different places. And so today's episode is about social anxiety. Now, I realize that many people may think that, oh, I hang out with my friends, but then I don't like going for functions, I don't like going to places, I don't like doing all these things. And sometimes you wonder to yourself, Queen, you're a snob. I submit to you that sometimes people are not just snobs, they're just going through certain things, and they also are very anxious about social spaces. And so we're going to debunk what social anxiety is. We're going to talk about how it sometimes looks like, and then some possible suggestions that I learned that can help you, all right? So social anxiety, as the name suggests, carries two strong words, social and anxiety. Now, anxiety is a sense of about worry. It's a sense of being uncomfortable, being anxious, means that you are uneasy in certain realities. Now the reality for this one is that your anxiety manifests itself loudest at social gatherings, events, parties, even weddings, and even for some people I know, even places like church where many people are, anything social makes you very anxious. Now there's a stage where this can become clinically, that needs for clinical help. And I recognize that, and I suggest that you get a therapist if you're feeling like now it's too extreme. But in case you're feeling like it's just starting, here are some things that you can tell that this is why you have social anxiety. The first thing that you have is that you constantly, and I mean intentionally and deliberately, avoid anything that is social or any opportunity to gather with people. Now, these are people who virtual church is such an answer to their need, because they'd rather sit in the control of their living room. And I know that some people may think I just don't like people, but really it could be you're just hiding behind something bigger. Another thing that you could find is that when you go for functions, now others can notice it and maybe you don't notice it, but you avoid eye contact with people all the time. When you're at a function, for example, you seclude yourself, you go stand in a corner where you don't want anybody to talk to you. And it's sometimes very interesting that to the person they think, me, I'm just chilling, but to you realize you're really avoiding every opportunity to talk to people. And there are people who just, in true fashion, when they see me in Poltama, they walk past them so quickly. Have you seen those guys? It's just a tale of it. And so the guys who now, when it's extreme, they just start sweating. You feel like you're having a panic attack because you're around many people. First, let me just let you know, it's not abnormal for this to happen. Not everybody is a social creature like I am. And also, I just want to apologize because I know many of us who are social creatures think that you're the weirdo amongst people, and you're not, okay? So one of the things that can make let's talk about why you're so anxious when you're around social functions. One is that more than likely you think you'll say something that will throw everybody off. So what is your natural response? I won't say anything at all. I won't go there. I'll tell you why I think that's a difficult thing to do. The second thing is that you're very afraid of what others will think of you. Now, I want you to recognize something about those two thoughts, is that what is actually happening is that you're so conscious of other people's responses that it has limited and paralyzed you from doing anything, because you're so scared that what will they say, what will happen to them. And so I think one of the things to let you know is that if you're interested in killing this social anxiety, I had a few thoughts that I think would help you in one way or another. The first is, before you go for the function, play out the event in your head, all right? Now, let me tell you, you may not believe it, but I do it all the time. I envision myself at this function and I ask myself, what is the most likely conversation that's gonna come up when I'm at this gig? what are guys gonna be talking about, you know? And that helps me preempt some conversations and prepare so that I'm not caught like, I don't know what to say. No. The second thing is safely question the expectations. Now, this one also helps because I know that social anxiety, some people don't think it's that extreme, but even in the place of work, something like your boss coming to your table and telling you, hey, by the way, I won't talk to you after lunch. Ooh, you could almost die because in your head you're thinking, there it goes again. My anxiety has come up again. It's coming up. And in real sense, maybe he just wants to appreciate what you're doing or just catch up with you about how work is. Now, the thing about questioning an outcome is that you're asking yourself, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst conversation that will come out of it? And by doing that, you disarm. When it comes your way, you're like, oh, I actually had envisioned how this goes. Now, I also want to let you know that with social anxiety, what I've come to realize is that sometimes you could be so scared of social spaces, and in the truest of forms, they will not consume you. They will not eat you. They will not kill you. Now, let me give you a funny story. So I think like a month or so ago, we were at home, my husband and I, and we were just chilling. Now, if you know my husband, you know he's chronically afraid of cats. Like he sees them a mile away and he starts to twitch. But something so interesting happened is that right outside, so we entered the house. I think we came in a bit late, and so we entered the house and we locked the door. And outside the door, we could hear a little cat prowling, like meow, meow, like you could tell it's a small cat. But immediately my husband had it. His immediate response was, see, they're coming for me now. Now let's bind this spirit. It's coming into our house. And it was the funniest thing. Because I walked towards the door and his first thing was, don't open the door, don't open the door, don't open the door. Now, in my head, I was like, Moji, this cat is so tiny. The worst that it'll do is I can do, huh, and it'll run away. But for him, is that on the other side of the door was his fear. And the thing is that the imagination of you opening the door and letting the cat in is you're letting my fears into my personal space. And this is exactly how I envision social anxiety. You could be so afraid of what's on the other side, but really it could be such a small thing that's holding you back from doing something. And I mean, one of the things I've come to learn with life is that everything that we do is so attached to people. The opportunities you're going to get, the work you want to get, the relationships you want to have, it's people. And so if you constantly get comfortable with saying, oh no, I'm just socially anxious, I just don't like when I'm around people, you in a strange way shut yourself from the opportunities and the relationships that could become. And so if you have positioned your mind to think that this is something that you cannot fix, I submit to you that you need to start working on it, because nobody in this earth succeeds alone. And so you need people. So find a way of fighting social anxiety. I recognize that also this is not something you will do tomorrow morning. You wake up, aha, I'm the master of my social anxiety. No. And I want to let you know that that is okay, because one of the things about this community is that we are so big about progressive growth as opposed to instantaneous success. So be kind to yourself even as you try and step out into social spaces. Now, I'm not telling you tomorrow go to a gathering of 100,000 people. For all you know, you could collapse in between them. So start with small things, like start with a gathering of 10 people. Sit amongst them. Don't sit and just be the weirdo who's just quiet and staring. Initiate a conversation or respond to a conversation. That will give you a sense of confidence that I can do it for 10, I can now do it for 50, now I can do it for 100 people. I'm not telling you that you're going to become the social creature that everybody wants to be around. That may not happen, but the reality is that I'm trying to help you kill the discomfort of thinking that crowds are the enemy. All right, so how do I help my social anxiety? Start small. Number 2 is anticipate the event before. At a wedding, for sure, there are gonna be moments when everyone is dancing and the MC comes and says, hi, to see Mame, and you're like, oh my god, I can't go anywhere, I'm barely surviving. Don't be hard on yourself. Anticipate the dancing session. If you don't want to dance, you can go and take a walk at that time. All right, so find ways of helping yourself before the event starts. And finally, to tell you, and anticipate and expect the outcome so that you can disarm them when they catch you of your too. So I think the trick here is to tell you, don't get comfortable with being away from people. It's a dangerous habit. But the other thing is to tell you that over time, build a sense of growth such that you can be comfortable around some people, and then over time newer people, and over time more people. So do it progressively. All right. Yeah, one of the things I love about this platform is that I absolutely encourage feedback. Share your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking about social anxiety. If you're facing it, how have you dealt with it? Maybe something I haven't shared. I'm happy to learn from you as well. And also just leave a comment if this has left any impression on you in any way. Until next time, have a great week. I love you all so deeply. Bye.